Hey, Fatty Boom Boom. So the people at the Mary Sue are not familiar with exercise or diet. It seems like the concept of walking around not to get food, but for the point of exercise is a foreign concept to them. And let me say this gently. Most of the people at the Mary Sue are over 2 bills, and two of them look like they might be over 3 bills. So, yeah, I guess walking around for fun is a wee bit of a foreign concept to them. Or like churning a compost heap just for the heck of it, like just as a form of exercise if you need it, or something like that. Weeding or digging a garden, whatever, or lifting weights, or even homemade weights, like just filling a tough canvas bag with rocks and squatting with it. Because to them, exercise of any kind has turned into it's some aspect of the culture war where it's a problematic far right Hugo Boss European supreme dog whistle exercise, which I mean something all animals are pretty well on board with, except for some humans for some reason, because they're insane globalists who are drinking the Kool-Aid, both figuratively and literally. So this image is the actor in question, who's a martial arts choreography type of guy, and he's going to be the one who's wearing a costume in a fictional cartoon or comic book movie. So, dear Mary Sue, cut your daily calories in half. Like, literally, just stop eating after 2 p.m. if you want to, like, shock the system a little bit. And then start walking around the block. Just go do it for an hour. Just to experience it, it won't kill you. And that's the thing with like, fasting for a day. It's just to get you into that experience of, oh, this feeling won't kill me. In fact, it doesn't seem to have much of an effect on your alert levels. Like, you drink enough water during the day, you can fast for a day, you're not even going to notice it. You're going to be just fine. And then as you get in better and better shape, you can like eat less and less frequently, and like it's not going to affect anything. You just get, I kind of feel like if you look back through human throughout history, they've probably adapted to go in periods without food, and it's like just barely even noticing it. So the thing is with exercise, like it's turned into this culture war thing, and if you need to say to yourself, like, I don't know why you need to justify exercise to anyone, but like, you're not doing it to please anyone. It's not some part of the patriarchy or whatever straw man version of the universe you have up in your head. You're doing it because your body is a machine that requires maintenance to function properly, like anything else. And the people who are telling you to overeat and not exercise are globalists who are trying to destroy you. Exercise is not a right wing thing. It's human. Or animal kingdom, really. I mean, you can go watch the deer, and I almost said that with an S, because deers is not a plural that way. Anyway, so they want to when you go watch the deer and they're cropping grass, right, and then they get startled or they see something, they go run up a hill. You see their muscles explode into action. They just fly up the hill like it's nothing. This 100-pound deer just is all muscle under that thin layer of skin. Now you look at your 200-pound Mary Sue body and just look at that. You get the idea. The deer, the coyotes, the mountain lions, the bears, they can all run up very steep hills. I don't know if you've ever seen a bear climb a tree. They don't climb a tree like a human climbs a tree, with your feet, and you push yourself up with your feet and you pull up with the arms, and it's a slow movement. Even if you're very, very in shape and you're climbing a coconut tree as a kid, you watch a bear, it's more like a bear runs up a tree. To see a 500-pound bear, that's what they do. They're so strong, they're grabbing the tree on both sides and running. It's bizarre to see how fast they go up a tree. But I mean, the point is, like, they're dragging 500 pounds almost vertically. It's insane. The point is that healthy humans can also run up hills. A 200-pound Mary Sue body is not a healthy human. Go spend a day jogging with the deer and the coyotes, except you can't, because healthy at every size is a globalist lie. First of all, a sincere thanks to the Buy Me a Coffee and Subscribe Star donations. For me not being a sexy chick, you guys are very generous. And someone on Odyssey said they're broke now and they're going to donate next payday. Please don't do that. Use your money to buy rice and ammo. I have 5 Buy Me a Coffee donations, so I'm pretty much rolling in money right now. So don't worry about it if money is tight. So I saw this article and I felt like this is the thing I wanted you to read, this paragraph this first paragraph right here. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. The Mary Sue article covers John Wick, which, the first one, 2014, it was good, but before, and I'm not going to bag on John Wick because immediately people would be very, very angry. It's just that like the movies people think are good, it's relative. You look around at the other stuff out there and you go, is it good or is it only relatively good to all the other crap that's coming out? And that's closer to the truth for a lot of movies that have been coming out in the past 25 years. They're relatively good, but they're not what you think they are. Hey, Lord of the Rings from 20 years ago, that was a solid 3 movie trilogy. And then you look at that other from the period of about 20 to 2023, and you go, not a whole lot. Now let's look at that 23-year period, 77 to 2000, and go, oh, that's a way more productive 23-year period, especially 77, because you had Star Wars, Star Trek, Superman, and then you had that booming period of the 80s. And it's like, yeah, all those movies, the Goonies and E.T. and stuff, yeah, those are just silly, stupid movies. But they were silly, stupid movies done really, really well. And then after about 2000, you start looking around for those movies, and they're kind of thin on the ground. Anyway, so I think in the first movie, they were fighting the evil blue-eyed Russians, and I don't remember the next of the series, part 2 or part 3. I assume it was kind of more of the same. Pretty much every bad guy in Hollywood is going to be blonde hair or at least a fair-skinned person of the light. I think you know where I'm going with that. So number 4 has him fighting the evil Germans because, cultural Marxism, which is pretty much just going to be the future of all Hollywood. It's all crap, and it's just going to get worse. There's really nothing for you in Hollywood. Find a better hobby. Like I said, you can start gardening. I've been getting my raised beds ready from the rains finally stop. You can send me some seeds to my mailbox, and I'll give them a chance, assuming it's a Zone 9 or 10 plant. And now that I think about it, the Die Hard movies also were dealing with evil Germans and Russians. Weird. Really kind of activates the almonds, how they can't seem to find any other antagonists around the world. It's just people who look like you. Kind of weird. Anyway, so one of the antagonists is the evil German, who's an actor wearing a fat suit because he has to do a bunch of physically active stunts, which an obese person can't do without getting injured. Because logically, if you were physically fit, you wouldn't be obese. Oh, that's hate speech. But is it true? Off to the gulags, Hugo Boss. And I know that the bullshit kids seem to think that they can be healthy and obese, but they never provide any examples. The people who are giving those TED Talks, they departed this mortal coil from heart attacks within 5 or 10 years. Or when they're giving those TED Talks standing, they're literally out of breath because their heart is working so hard to keep a 400-pound body standing and speaking. Nobody's buying this. And I mean, like left or right, this shouldn't be a left or right issue. Just because you're on the left, you don't have to accept everything on the left and make everything not everything has to be Saul Alinsky, Frankfurt School, cultural Marxism. Like you can put your foot down and go, no, I know the left wing narrative is that health is a right wing Hugo Boss dog whistle and it's problematic and patriarchal. But those people are wrong. I'm just gonna say they're wrong, and we're on the left or on the right, but we're gonna get physically fit anyway. It's like we believe differently. We're gonna have to respectfully agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Can we do that as adults? And the left-wing people nowadays look at you like, are you out of your effing mind? We have to destroy you for that. We're going to dox you, get you fired, get you deplatformed, censored, and have the banks kick you off. We're going to get you evicted, get your spouse fired, and your kids are going to get kicked out of school for saying, I don't agree with the health at every size thing. Yeah, of course. Like if you're outside the herd, you're outside the herd. Don't you know how the left-wing works? Yeah, that's one not on the left wing. So the idiots at the Mary Sue seem to be triggered by this concept for some reason, and the whole thing is so tiresome. It is more tiresome than previously imagined, and it was pretty tiresome even back then with the Asian guy giving that Empire of Dust. So these people endlessly bitch and moan. Like if he had any idea, it was probably 20 years ago, but he had any idea of how much more tiresome he would be. I mean, he would be a very aged, tiresome person indeed. It's just it makes your soul weary to see these people argue and endlessly bitch and moan about the dumbest MFing things on earth. So this idiot makes a comment that stops him in my tracks because even for the Mary Sue, this is painfully stupid. She mentions here in this first paragraph that obesity is immutable, which I think is Latin or Greek, which means unchangeable, which even her own comment section told her just wasn't correct. Your weight changes all the time. Your body is a machine. The thing that determines the weight is energy in versus energy out. It's calorie deficit is the only thing you really have to worry about. And there's healthier ways to go about that, but fundamentally that's the biochemistry of it. It's sort of a law of physics built into the universe, entropy, enthalpy, or thermodynamics, one of the second laws of thermodynamics, something like that. You can't burn energy in your machine without a source. There's no perpetual motion machine or infinite frictionless machine. The universe just doesn't work that way, and unless you've found some magic way to tap into the vacuum energy source at the beginning of the universe, or maybe send electrons zipping backwards and forwards through time or something truly exotic. But other than that, you're going to need to eat less and just start walking. I mean, there's other more complicated exercises for sure, but for most people to start, say, oh, why don't you just walk around the block like right now, just to break yourself of that mental conditioning that oh, there's, and you walk around and go, oh, there's other people walking around also. Yeah, some are trying to get places, some are walking the dogs, but most of the people you see walking around are just doing it because they need to move a little bit, get a little exercise. Like that's okay to do. You can exercise. It's not a You're not going to start Roman saluting and dressing up and all that kind of nonsense. Like everyone who tells you these kind of things, and the thing is, the truth is, if a lot of left wing people exercised, ate less, got in a little bit of shape, they'd be less left wing. Because a lot of what you put out in the universe is what you get back. So if you burn more energy than you consume, you're going to lose weight, and you can prove it to yourself with a simple experiment. Track your food for a few weeks with a diary, and weigh yourself every day and your activity level. Then after 2 weeks, cut those calories in half. Yes, that's going to be a little extreme, but the point is that you can get used to it, and it won't kill you. It might be a little weird, but it's not going to hurt you. Increase your activity level during the same time and keep weighing yourself, and use one of those cloth measuring tapes around your waist, and you'll discover that you're losing your waistline like magic, or a simple chemical equation, which is what it really is. Your cat is not sneaking into your room to alter your clothes. The clothing doesn't, shrink or expand. It's you. So she says in this one quote, which is so asininely stupid, 11 minutes. Fat suits suck for several reasons. They suggest that weight is a mutable quality that can be changed at will. So weight is a changeable quality that can be changed at will. Yes. How are you this dumb? That we can choose our body size the way we might choose an article of clothing. Yes. Are you not familiar with diet and exercise? Like, what's the color of the sky in your world where you can write a paragraph like this and nobody else at the Mary Sue says, hey, this is nonsense? Because not everyone at the Mary Sue is over 200 pounds. There's like 20 girls who arrive from the Mary Sue. To be fair, most of them are pretty rotund, but there's a couple that are not. I mean, this is insane to say you can't change your body when people do that all the time. Like, there's a ton of people who get on a little bit of a fitness kick and they just start eating less and getting a little bit more exercise, and their clothes, suddenly they have to take in the belt. So, I mean, what do you think that is? Like, how do you write this? I'm saying, how do you write this and write it with a straight face and not be aware that you can change your body? But the things I just said, if you eat less and raise your activity level, that fat is gonna be turned into an energy source, especially if you cut carbs. But I mean, like intermittent fasting is great. Like if you just, so like for 2 weeks, why don't you just try eating breakfast and then skipping everything else? So you've got that long fasting period. I mean, it's a little bit weird, and you're probably not gonna do it for long. But like for a week period, why don't you try it for a week period and start walking? You're gonna be fine. It's not gonna, you're probably just, it's not, you're not even gonna notice it. It's like you're gonna be a little hungry. You'll adjust to it really quickly, and at the end of the week, you go, oh, the pants are looser. Yeah, nobody snuck. Your cat didn't sneak in there and alter your pants. They're looser because you're burning that stored fat as energy. It's just how the body works. It's just insane to write something so stupid and be taken seriously. Anyway, articles like this, just drive me. I was gonna say drive me crazy, but they really drive me crazy. Or it's that also tiresome meme. It's like, yeah, buddy, we are all there with you. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks to everyone for the support on the Buy Me a Coffee and the subscribe star and all that kind of stuff. And I'll see you guys all next episode.